Caught the inside corner. Albert doesn't like the call. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Make that 7 in a row retired by De La Rosa. 1 out here, the 6th. 7 strikeouts now for De La Rosa. As Andy Fletcher, or Mike Scioscia, I should say, is run out there to meet Andy Fletcher. And to be perfectly honest with you, considering where the dugouts sit, the visiting dugouts sit here in this ballpark, I don't know how a home plate umpire can determine who or what said something to get him ejected from the dugout.
But judging from that conversation with Mike Scioscia, I don't think it was Mike Scioscia got thrown out.
And now Scioscia has been tossed.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was Pujols.
I mean, you have to have incredible hearing to be able to determine who's hollering what and where it's coming from. And Albert looks like he's clearing out the bats and maybe is ejected.
Well, right there you see Andy Fletcher throwing Pujols at him.
And strike 3 call. 3 straight pitches. 3 words later, Billy was, "You're out of here, Billy." Ejected from the game. And before it was all over, Brian Price came out and put in his 2 cents as well. To no avail, of course.
Outside corners.
1-1. There is some width to the strike zone tonight.
On a 1-0 pitch. Generous outside corner. And a big call there that draws the ire of Dave Roberts. Yeah, Cody Bellinger evens the count 1-1.
Cody had one like that in the last at bat, and I think that's why you get the full reaction with the fist bump in disgust. Dave Roberts protecting Cody, so if his voice is heard, maybe he doesn't hear Cody griping.
Again.
If there's a corner that Cody knows where it's at, it's the outside one, because he stands right on top of the plate and he's very tall in his posture. So it's real easy for him to know where that corner is.
He might have caught the very tail end of this, or the very beginning of it as we went to break, but Dan Iasonia has ejected Cody Bellinger.
And Cody then went into, this is how far off the plate it was. Dave Roberts kind of intercepts the argument, but Cody gets his point across from about 6 feet away, creeping in and showing exactly how far off the plate the pitches were, and there were at least 3 or 4 like that over the course of 2 at bats.
340 since he's been in the big leagues. Yeah, Ron Gardenhire's gone.
He's arguing balls and strikes. That last pitch to Jordan was down.
Well, this was the one, you know, it's so often the case, it's not the last pitch that he's upset about, because that wasn't even close, but it was, you know, maybe.
Well, he threw
pitch
somebody
4
out
and
right
6.
there. Looks like he threw out Miguel
Did he
Cabrera.
throw Miguel Cabrera?
Last year as a second baseman.
This gets Frazier not pleased.
And this year he's an all-star as a shortstop.
Now it's embarking between Frazier and Arrieta. Arrieta, who also hit Pete Alonso with his second pitch thrown tonight. Now the umpires gathering, and both benches are being worn.
Todd Frazier's quite upset here because he'd probably like to see someone get knocked down here. And I think this is the frustrations is pent up from the losing that the Mets have been going through.
Now Frazier's having to be held back from one of the umpires, and Mickey Callaway saying, "Why are you warning us?" And it looks like somebody got run. Looks like Frazier's the one who's been tossed. He'll get his money's worth. And he might need a new helmet. And Trip Gibson, our home plate umpire, having none of that.
He's fading.
Fading in the autumn of their career, at least.
There's ball 4. Oh, no, strike 3. Darnell is punched out. The latest victim of the Toby Basner strike hunt. Well, lesson not learned.
Well, let's see where this pitch is. Usually that ball on the other side of the plate is not called for a strike.
It's also probably a little low, and David Wright has just been thrown out of the game, I think. Was it Wright or was it Darno got thrown out? Wright got called out on a low pitch earlier in the game and clearly was incensed. And I'm pretty sure David's been run.
And it's the same thing you hear all the time. The players are telling the umpire he should just pay attention to the field because he's having a hard time enough doing that.
Well, Joe Madden said last week with instant replay it's been a love fest between the managers and the umpires, but not when it comes to balls and strikes. There's no replay available, and Toby Basner has been calling a lot of strikes that the Mets have not seen that way. And I think Terry's been run as well. Not sure if David was run, but somebody got thrown out.
Terry Collins gave him a little peek into the past.
You see, if you can read lips, David just said, "You are the worst."
Fielding Colbert's coming in. He's the veteran trying to make sure that order is somewhat restored. David's been thrown out.
Yep, David's taking his bats and going home.